BFreeCBD.com joins forces with Championship Wrestling to bring you the all-new Championship Wrestling podcast. And here's your host, Dustin Starr, featuring special guest,
BFree CBD,
founder of BFree CBD, Daryl Bird. Here we go!
Body aches gone, leg pain gone, back pain gone, relaxation on.
Welcome back for episode 4 of the all-new Championship Wrestling podcast, presented by BFree CBD. Check them out at BFreeCBD.com and save 20% every day on the very best CBD. Thank you for joining us once again. I am Dustin Starr. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening and join the conversation by following us at CW30 Wrestling. And of course, I'm at Dustin Starr. Throw a follow to our pals at BFree CBD. That's the letter B, Free CBD. Now remember, you can either listen to this podcast on your favorite podcast provider, or you can watch with exclusive footage, clips, and highlights on our official YouTube channel at CW30 Wrestling. Now, either way, we're glad that you joined us. There's a lot to talk about, everything Memphis, plus, look out! We're going to talk to Daryl Bird for just a moment, and then we have some real interesting topics in this week's mailbag. You guys have really outdone yourselves this time. Are you ready? It's time to grind.
The Championship Wrestling Rewind is brought to you by BFree CBD.
It's time to take a look back at all the action that happened inside and outside of the ring in and around Memphis. Plus, I'm going to recap all the action from Saturday's Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. It was the start of the PP3 tournament and a huge tag team main event, all presented by Dave and Buster's. But let's start with Memphis's own Marco Stunt. I know, guys. He's from Olive Branch, Mississippi, but that's basically Memphis, Mississippi. Come on. Not only was he in the ring with Chris Jericho, the AEW World Champion, but he also joined him on stage. Man, Marco Stunt looked like a freaking rock star. And I'll be seeing Marco very soon, and we'll have a huge announcement regarding him in the very near future. So shout out to Marco Stunt for doing it big this week. Then on Thursday, it was Grind City Wrestling, where we talked about a topic that has set the internet on fire, and some are for it and some are against it.
Just breaking news.
I wouldn't say breaking, but it's like wrestling news. A woman has the biggest title in Impact.
Oh.
Tessa Blanchard pinned Sami Callihan at their pay-per-view last Sunday, and she became the Impact World Champion.
Absolutely incredible. So congratulations to Tessa Blanchard breaking down the barriers. Did you see Becky Lynch on Backstage?
I did not.
She mentioned that another way that you can level the playing field with the men and the women is stop calling them the WWE Women's Champion. When Ronda Rousey was UFC Women's Champion, and I just said Women's Champion, she was UFC Champion Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
She wasn't UFC Women's Champion Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really good point that, honestly, I had never really thought about before.
You know what?
You don't call him the WWE Men's Champion.
No, we just call him the WWE
Yeah.
Champion. So is that, she said that this week on Backstage?
Yep.
Just think about the timing of it. Right after Tessa Blanchard wins the championship?
Yes, sir.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're looking at exclusive behind-the-scenes footage from a video shoot that we did in conjunction with Just My Memphis and BFree CBD alongside the legendary King Cobra. Die-hard Memphis wrestling fans are going to remember King Cobra as the first ever African-American world champion, unified champion, that pinned Jerry the King Lawler on December 30th, 1989 at Mid-South Coliseum. So be on the lookout for that story along with another big announcement. I know I'm teasing a whole bunch of announcements, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. Then it was time for Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle and the start of the PP3 tournament with 2 quarterfinal matchups and the PP3 ceremony where it had like all the participants in the ring at the same time. I thought all heck was going to break loose there, but it didn't. In quarterfinal action, Jordan Clearwater squared off against Ryan Kidd. Clearwater did come out victorious, and it's just a great opportunity for him, even though he didn't qualify for the tournament because of Danny Limelight's injury. He was placed in there, but let's hear what Jordan had to say after his big victory.
I was given a second chance, but I didn't squander it. I made the most of it, and now I'm in the semifinals.
He sure is.
Don, I'm not stopping there. I'm not stopping until I have that cup in my hands. You know why that is?
Why is that?
Because I'm the golden boy, baby, and I have the Midas touch.
Then, the new idol of Memphis TV, Anthony Idol, squared off against the outlandish Zicky Dice. And we've seen Zicky Dice in the NWA. Idol proved to be too much as he eliminated Zicky Dice. And then up next, Johnny Yuma was embarrassed at Milestone when Adrian Quest punched him out. So the former PP3 winner, he issued a challenge to get a little revenge. And the strange thing is that Ray Rosas and Andy Brown were at ringside watching Adrian Quest again. I'm not sure what that's all about, but Quest wins decisively with the 40-ounce bounce. And then finally, it was main event time, presented by Dave and Buster's, where we had our free Royal Rumble watch party. It was tag team action, the Friendship Farm, consisting of a couple of my favorites, Super Beetle and Sweet Robin Shaw, versus the classic connection of Buddy Royal and Levi Shapiro. Now, I'm not sure where Howdy Price was, but they really needed him. Also, one half of the United Tag Team Champions, Thomas Day, he was on commentary to provide insight and, to kind of scope out the challengers. But Friendship Farm with a huge victory, but not to bury the lead. The Classic Connection have officially split up after the vicious attack from Levi Shapiro and his partner Buddy Royal. So maybe Howdy Price is a common problem in these teams splitting up and all the issues that he's having with talent.
The Championship Wrestling Lookout is brought to you by BFree CBD.
Look out for me this week. It's NBA basketball all week at FedEx Forum and Lander Center for the G League. Thursday, brand new Grind City Wrestling podcast. Friday, come watch Grizzlies basketball with me at Brookhaven Pub for the official Memphis Grizzlies watch party. And shout out, that's right, to my boy BLJ, the best hype man in the NBA. He's going to be there with me. Look out for a major announcement. I can't promise it'll be this week, but it's going to be very, very soon indeed. I've probably said the word announcement 4 or 5 times on this podcast already, but I promise you, it is coming. And then Saturday, it's Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle. We continue the PP3 tournament with 2 more quarterfinal matches. Andy Brown versus Ice Williams. Ray Rosas versus the underdog, Frankie Frank. And then also, Houston Body's Best of 7 Challenge? What is this all about? Lacey Ryan versus Heather Monroe. And apparently there's a different stipulation that Houston Body will have in this Best of 7. So I can't wait to see what that's all about. And so much more. And just remember that the 8 men competing in this tournament for the PP3, they're competing to win Percy's Privilege, the urn, which can be cashed in for a championship opportunity of the winners choosing any time, any place.
It's time for this week's mailbag. Mailbag.
Each and every week, I do my best to answer all of your questions, and let's be honest, the mailbag has become my favorite segment on this podcast, so let's start out. I did some Instagram stories, and you guys had some really cool questions, but this one comes from Billy Vincent Jr. via Facebook. Will you be wrestling on AEW, NWA Power, or WWE anytime soon? Probably not. Maybe I'll be commentating in some capacity. That'd be very cool. Back to the Instagram stories. I'm at Dustin Starr. So the first one is a dream booking scenario. Opponent, referee, color and play-by-play commentary, agent on the match, title on the line, pay-per-view, venue, city. What is it? What is my absolute dream booking scenario match? Really, really good question. So let me just go through those real quick. Since this is Memphis and this is Championship Wrestling, I would say that it would be Dustin 5-Star with my lovely Maria squaring off against Jerry the King Lawler for the Unified World Heavyweight Championship inside Mid-South Coliseum with referee Jerry Calhoun in charge, Dave Brown and Lance Russell on commentary, and why not? Let's just have Randy Hales be the agent, because indeed he did book the Bill Dundee, Dustin Starr, and Maria feud that happened several years back. I don't know if it has to be a pay-per-view, but it's definitely Memphis, Tennessee, and Mid-South Coliseum. That might not be what you wanted to hear, but that's probably my dream scenario. All right, next question. Ray Rosas or Baron Corbin? I think I would pick Baron Corbin over Ray Rosas, but I'm going to talk about him in just a second. Next question. How long does it take to style that pompadour? Have you ever seen Something About Mary? Ooh, just kidding. All right, who takes longer to get ready in the morning, you or Maria? Oh my gosh, I guess that just all depends on what's going on that day, but probably Maria 9 times out of 10, absolutely. Wrestler of the Year 2019. I'm going to say Cody Rhodes. Who else has been able to do what Cody Rhodes has done? I know that a lot of you are going to tweet me at Dustin Starr and talk about how, Seth Rollins and Adam Cole, baby, and all that kind of stuff. But to me, it's Cody Rhodes. At me. Next question. Favorite wrestling moment in your career? Oh, by far. Starting Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle every Saturday at noon on CW30 and YouTube Premiere. Hosting alongside my Maria and just betting on us and bringing wrestling back to Memphis television. Man, there's nothing sweeter. Next question, least favorite moment of my wrestling career. Now, I kind of teased that being a referee in WWE was the least favorite, and that's not necessarily true. I learned a whole lot in that experience. But my least favorite moment of my wrestling career would have to be a promo that I cut on Live Memphis Wrestling, and it was scripted by Jerry Lawler, and the way that it came out just made me look terrible. It was awful. It was the most embarrassing moment in my entire wrestling career. I'm not going to tell you what it was or the details because I don't want you looking it up on YouTube, but that was the least favorite moment in my wrestling career, is just a botched promo. Oh, it was terrible. All right, next question. Biggest fear. Biggest fear is being average. If I could avenge one loss. Oh, come on. It's not really a loss, but I said I would mention him. It's Ray Rosas. And trust me, real soon, I'm going to avenge that loss, or I'm going to get revenge, because I haven't forgotten that he put his hands on my Maria back at the Red Carpet Rumble, and nobody puts their hands on my Maria. So it's hands down, Ray Rosas has one coming. Worst opponent. You have no idea who this guy even is. Hijo del Spectro or something like that. Anyway, it was a triple threat match. It was myself, Hijo, and Matt Hardy. It was broken Matt Hardy. So it was a lot of fun. Me and Matt were on the same page, but Hijo not so much. He kicked me in the back so hard that I lost feeling in my extremities. Thank you guys for all the fun questions. We're going to do this again next week, right here on the Mailbag on Championship Wrestling Podcast, presented by BFree CBD.
Thanks for listening to the Championship Wrestling Podcast, presented by BFreeCBD.com.
BFree CBD, pain on, pain gone. BFree CBD, pain on, pain gone. BFree CBD.
Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to support our partners at BFreeCBD.com. They're offering 20% off. And if you already take CBD, or if you've been thinking about trying it, and you want to learn more about it, then certainly try BFree CBD. And that's the letter B, FreeCBD.com. All the information is there. You can try it before you buy it. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to catch you again next week, right here on the all-new Championship Wrestling Podcast, presented by BFree CBD. I am Dustin Starr saying, so long, everybody.